The bucket on that bulldozer was already dipping toward my barn when Tyler Cole flicked a taser and barked, "Tear it down!" I didn't flinch. I lifted my phone so the camera could see his hands. The badge-shaped patch on that costume uniform, the line of white SUVs idling like wolves on the road. And I said steady enough for the mic and the morning, and every neighbor watching step across my fence, and you're going to jail. Yeah, that happened. And if you've ever had a bored or a bossy neighbor, try to play cop on your land. You know the feeling already. My name's Nate Walker. Monarch Creek. Colorado is a dot most folks miss on the map, 25 acres of pasture and cottonwoods, a red barn my dad built board by board. When hands were steadier and lumber was cheaper, my hens pay the feed bill. With eggs and noise mornings, smell like coffee and alfalfa. And most days, the biggest drama is a coyote testing the fence until one Tuesday in May, when the knock came at 6:07 a.m., sharp enough to set the dogs off and make the coffee taste like pennies. I opened the door in work boots and a flannel, and there she stood, Sabrina Cole in a pressed blazer, and heels 2 SUVs behind her, with light bars pulsing that headache blue mister. "Walker," she said, like she'd already decided the ending, and held out an envelope with a pine cone crest at the top. Emergency nuisance assessment $5,200. Due immediately, I laughed. Not because any of it was funny, but because sometimes your body picks the worst time to tell the truth. And I raised the length of wire I was holding from the east fence where it had been clipped clean, a navy thread snagged in the barb. "Livestock at large." "Doesn't cut fencing," I said. "And my hens don't wear uniforms." Her face didn't move an inch. The guy to her right did. Tyler, mid-20s, Jim shoulders chin like a shovel, stepped up close enough. I smelled mints. 48 hours to comply, he said, or we handle compliance for you. I kept my voice even. "I'm not in your HOA. Your operations affect our community," Sabrina said, like she was reciting a verse she'd been taught. "We're asking for voluntary cooperation with community standards." She set the envelope on my porch rail, next to the old horseshoe my dad nailed there in '83. They left like a weather front rolling out, and I walked the property line, counting feathers and missing hens and tire tracks. Wide like a flatbed, I called the sheriff's office and got the kind of answer that lives in gray space. If they're on the public road, they're allowed to exist, you know what I mean? So I called the county clerk. Lenore Puckett has worked that desk since dial-up. She read my parcel file out loud, like scripture. No HOA jurisdiction, no special district, no delegated police power to any patrol. They'll dance right up to the line, she said. Softer, document. Everything. I bought. 2 more cloud cams, bolted them high under the eaves where a ladder wouldn't reach, framed my no trespassing sign in every shot. If this is déjà vu for some of you, I get it. That night, the dance began. 3 white SUVs parked nose to tail on the county road, engines idling light bars, flicking just enough to keep you awake at the top of every hour. One of them tapped an air horn, not long enough for a citation, just long enough to shred your nerves. Strip at a time, my feed guy. My Ethan called the next afternoon. Nate, they've got a checkpoint, like it's the interstate clipboard's cones. Community safety inspection. I can't risk a ticket for unsecured pallets. I'll try next week. Money gone. Feed delayed drone lights. Skimmed my barn roof after midnight, and my phone caught the buzz like a mosquito that forgot. It should be quiet by Thursday. I drove to the Aspen Ridge Pavilion, parked across the street legal, as sunrise leaned on my hood, and filmed what they wanted us to believe. A stage with bunting, a PA Sabrina at a podium. Today we commission the Aspen Ridge Patrol, she said. Tasting that word, patrol, like it was authority, Tyler took the mic navy shirt with captain bars that looked straight from a costume bin, full authority, to protect our families and our values 24/7, no exceptions. I zoomed in on 2 plates that didn't match their registrations and tucked that detail away. Late that afternoon, Sabrina returned to my porch with a folder thick enough to chalk a tractor tire and a softer voice. Northbridge Land Partners is offering fair market value for your 25 acres clean. Closing in 30 days, she said. And if you accept these code violations, go away. I opened that folder and stared at a pile of paperwork dressed like the law. Odor control, runoff. Mitigation, unsafe structure. 48 violations, $86,400 a photo of my barn at sunset. Used like it was evidence of criminal aesthetics. If I don't sell, I asked. We enforce, Tyler said, grinning like he'd finally found a job that fit his temper daily thoroughly. The offer drops 10% each week. Sabrina added businesslike. I let the silence stretch until it belonged to me. I'm not selling my land, I said, and you don't have the authority to step on it. After they pulled out, I went back to Lenore. She printed a list of 5 parcels that had sold cheap to an LLC chain. Ending at Northbridge, my neighbor Paige met me in the lot with a paper in her hand. $600 for visual. Blight, a horse trailer. I've parked there 5 years, she said. I don't belong to their HOA. Nate, doesn't seem to matter. I said. I called a property rights lawyer in Fort Collins. Avery Sloan, you can hear when a lawyer's been in the dirt. Collect witnesses, keep your signage in frame, log plates and patches share every clip. Let them cross the line on camera, then we move for a TRO, she said. Do not take the bait, so I slept with my boots by the door, my phone on the charger at the window, and at 7:41 a.m. Friday, I heard the metallic clack of a ramp dropping and the diesel rattle. You feel in your ribs 2 pieces of heavy equipment rolled through my open gate like they had a permit from a power I didn't vote for. Tyler hopped out with his clipboard and shouted to the operator. Unsafe structure, abatement. Start with the east wall. I hit record, kept my voice for the camera and the court that might see it. This is Nathan Walker. AM. Friday, Aspen Ridge Patrol and hired operators have entered my property without permission. They are threatening to demolish my barn. The excavator bucket paused midair. I lifted my phone so it caught the no trespassing sign. The operator's face, the patch on Tyler's chest. Any work you do is criminal destruction, I said louder. For the witnesses on the road. Your company's insurance won't cover a felony. Your kids won't want to visit you in prison over an HOA. The operator killed his engine. The dozer driver's shoulders sagged. Tyler swore and threw his clipboard. Like that would change gravity. I called the sheriff and got the real one. Dana Holt, the badge that actually means something. Hold. I'm in the area. Do not engage further. She said. They backed out and I didn't celebrate. I wrote plates and made copies and sent a shared folder to Avery and Lenore and my son. Because here's the thing. Bullies don't stop when you say no. They stop when no meets consequence. Saturday morning arrived with a convoy that looked like a plan. Sabrina's Mercedes in front, 6 patrol SUVs. 3 lowboys with heavy iron. 2 pickups full of Navy shirts, rehearsing bravery on the county road. My neighbors and customers lined up with phones. No yelling, just witnesses. The sun was at my back. The morning cool on my lungs. I met them at the gate with a coffee. I knew I wouldn't finish. Sabrina raised a bullhorn. Walker. Your time is up. Accept our generous offer, or we proceed with enforcement. I didn't answer her. I spoke to the operator, a man with a mortgage and kids, and better ways to spend a Saturday. You cross this fence. It's a crime. Licensed operators don't do criminal work, do you know that? Sabrina waved a stapled packet like a magic spell. Emergency Health and Safety Directive, signed by the Aspen Ridge Community Protection Board. That board has no statutory authority. I said produce a court order or step back. Tyler flicked his fingers and the diesels grumbled awake. And then we all heard it. 3 county cruisers cresting the hill. Sirens low and patient. The kind that says the law has arrived and it brought a clipboard. You ought to respect. The operators saw the cars and the line of phones and the engines died one by one. It should have ended there. But power hates being told no. Tyler yanked a taser from the glove box that insect whined loud in the quiet morning and started toward this fence. Move, he shouted higher than he wanted. I stepped so the camera saw the taser and the distance between us. You don't get to electrocute a man off his land because your mother wants a resort. I said, level as a carpenter's bubble. Sheriff Holt rolled to a stop. Wide across the lane, stepped out like the ground was on her side. Mr. Cole dropped the weapon hands where I can see them. She called, his eyes flicked to Sabrina. She didn't move. His eyes flicked to my phone and to the patch he'd pinned to his own chest for half a beat. The worst possibility sat right there in the dust. Then his shoulders fell. The taser clattered. The cuffs clicked. That sound you don't forget. And the morning exhaled. Ma'am, the sheriff told Sabrina. We'll need vehicle records, patrol, finance records, any documents related to your claims of authority. Clear the road, back the equipment out. You do not set 1 foot on Mr. Walker's land. I panned the phone, so my no trespassing sign shared the frame with the badge and the silent machines and the neighbors who had shown up. Engines that had been eager to chew through my barn sat like tired animals. The white SUVs rolled away 2 by 2, past the big stone sign at their entrance that says "If where you belong." I stood by my gate and finally finished that coffee. It tasted like dirt and something like justice, and I didn't throw a party or lift a trophy. I fed the hens. I checked the east fence. I texted Avery. That we had fresh evidence. I thanked Paige for standing there with her phone. Later, I sat on the porch and ran a hand across my dad's old workbench with the burn mark shaped like Nevada, and let the quiet make one slow lap around the place. If you're hoping for a tidy morale, I don't have one. I didn't win because I'm special. I won because I stood where I had the right to stand and said no in a way neighbors and cameras and actual law could hear. And because one kid in a Navy shirt decided not to be the worst version of himself. People will argue about HOAs. Some keep pools clean and the paint matched, and folks like that system. Some have stories that'll curl your beard, fines for Christmas lights, flags, tire swings, and both can be true at once. The only question that mattered out here was simple and hard. When does order become control? When does a rule stop being about a neighborhood and start being about taking, you know what I mean? I'll leave it there and hand the mic to you. Was I right to hold the line, or should a man's cell take the money and buy quiet? Somewhere else if you've dealt with a board that crossed the line. Tell me your state and the wildest thing they tried. If you live in a great HOA and think, I'm the problem, say that too. Make your case hit it like if you want daylight on this kind of mess. Share if you've got neighbors who need to hear it. Subscribe if you believe home isn't something anyone should bulldoze with a clipboard. I'm Nate. My fence stands, and so does the law. Your move.